Hello, I'm Scott.
And I'm Amy.
And we are
the Road Roamers.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about our experiences that we had at Flamingo Campground.
And Everglades National Park.
And Everglades National Park. And kind of let you know our thoughts on that. And I'm going to let Amy take the lead on this one because she's probably done most of the research.
And then we're going to explain where we go between one part of the Everglades to the other. And we'll be back in just a moment and let you know.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, we're back, and so go ahead, Amy. Start off with what we thought about Everglades National Park and Flamingo Campground.
All right, so we thought we would just share a little bit of our experiences there, just to let you know what you can kind of expect. We know we did the video. We didn't really share our thoughts in the video. First of all, the campground, Flamingo Campground, we did tell you was about 40 miles in from where you enter the ranger station for the national park. So it is a trip. So you gotta have a little patience, and the scenery does change. Not too far in, we stopped at the visitor center, and we then later on went to the Nike missile base, which was on the way to the Biscayne National Park, which was definitely a must-see. So that was really cool. And so then we just, as you drive in, you're gonna experience a lot of different well, just different landscapes, because it kind of changes a little bit.
Yes.
So first of all, we want to say, be prepared to be in the middle of nowhere.
That is correct.
Middle of nowhere. I mean, you're 40 miles in, you're not close to a grocery store, you're not have any gas nearby.
No, you're not.
You know, you will have the water to fill up your RV, or if you're in a tent, you'll have water to there at the campground. But that's, I mean, there's the marina, you can grab a few things at the store. So anyway, expect no cell service or limited cell service. We had Verizon, we had no cell service with that. Our truck has AT&T, and we got limited service on that. It was kind of in and out a little bit.
Yeah.
So we know that AT&T at least does better than Verizon. We're not sure about Sprint, T-Mobile, or anything else that you might have, but we know that was our experience with that.
Unfortunately, those vehicle Wi-Fi's you get on your vehicles, I have discovered, at least with my F-350, Ford F-350, you have to leave the key on.
It was the same with the F-150.
Yeah, same with the F-150. I'm just saying there might be other brands, or I don't know that there are, if there's, you know, GM or Ram or whatever might have it. But as far as I know, I had to leave the key on to actually get that Wi-Fi to work. So that was a little inconvenient. You almost have to have your vehicle running.
Which I did sit in there a couple times just to send some emails and do a couple things I needed to do.
Yeah, because even if you leave the key on, it'll eventually time out and go off. And so you do have to leave it running, which is kind of a pain. But anyway.
Now, the good part about being in the middle of nowhere is you will see the stars and the moon, and it'll be peace and quiet.
Very quiet, yes, very nice.
So
except for the bugs buzzing around you.
That's the next one. So be prepared to bring lots of bug repellent, especially for mosquitoes and no-see-ums.
Yes, the no-see-ums.
If you don't know what no-see-ums are, you need to look them up, because they're not your friend.
I was educated more on no-see-ums on that trip, you know, just because of experience. I had no idea how small no-see-ums were. Hence
their name.
That's right.
And so we, because we sold our house and we went RVing right after, like literally right after we sold our house, we weren't sure exactly when to make the reservations. We had to wait. Let's just put it that way. So when I made the reservations for Flamingo Campground, we were not able to get any electrical hookups.
Yeah.
Which is the only hookups they offer, by the way.
Yeah.
So
there's no sewer hooked up to you.
No, there's dump station water. And there's potable water that you can get.
Right.
So, but
it's electrical or nothing.
Right. So if you go when the no-see-ums are bad, I do not recommend not having electrical unless you have
a solar battery
yeah.
backup that would allow you to run your air conditioner at night. Because, I mean, frankly, in the middle of the night, it can still be pretty warm.
And that's another thing, is like when we were there in February, and I looked at the average temperature, and it was supposed to be cooler than normal. I mean, it was supposed to be cooler during the night.
Yeah.
And the days we were there for 6 nights, and it was warmer than the averages by about 10 degrees.
Right.
So we needed our AC at least during the day.
Right.
At night, there was a nice breeze most of the time, so we thought, well, we can't run our AC. We could during the day with the generator.
Well, the generator is 8 to 8.
Right, but
So
I'm
we
saying
could
you could during the day.
During
with
the day,
generator.
you could run it with the
but
generator.
But at night, you can't run the generator.
Right.
So we opened the windows.
We opened the windows and left just the screens, thinking it'll be fine. We can get through this.
Yep.
And I woke up. Have you ever seen the show Naked and Afraid? I woke up looking like one of those people on there that were exposed to all the bugs. The no-see-ums literally went right through the screens on our RVs.
They did.
Apparently, RV companies don't put no-see-um screening on their RVs, which they should.
All you RV companies everywhere. It's not a problem everywhere.
Well, all you RV companies out there, please stop putting no-see-um screening on your RVs because it was brutal.
It was, and
I mean, they got me more than Amy. I'm usually the ones that doesn't get bit because of the mosquitoes. But for some reason, yeah, mosquitoes love her, but no-see-ums apparently love me. I mean, they feasted. And those things were there for a while. The bites and stuff took a while to get rid of.
Quite a while.
I mean, they know out there, I guess, how to handle them because we went and we bought this stuff that looked like mud and put them.
It's called Cure, and I think it's K-U-R-E. Anyway, it was all natural, and it had like ground walnuts in it too. So as you're putting it on, it's itching for you.
Oh man, it was
and that was great. And we had survived on that and some Benadryl. But we didn't know right away what was going on. It took a couple days to figure it out, so we got, some bites. So then we literally had to go to bed, because we would take our showers at night, because that's, with the campground, there's not hot showers, okay? On A loop, where it's a tent loop, they have solar. The solar is kind of outdated, not working the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
And on the T loop, which is the RV loop, there's no heated showers at all.
No.
Which was okay because it was hotter during the day. We took our shower at night, but then of course that washed all the bug spray off, and which I like to do because I don't like to go to bed with bug spray on, even though it's natural that I use. And so anyway, we ended up having to use bug spray on at night while we slept.
While sleeping in the camper.
In the camper.
So, that's just a lesson learned. Hopefully you guys can learn from that and not let the same thing happen to you.
We wouldn't go back without being able to have the like a solar powered system.
Yeah. So hence the reason we said, if you're gonna go, try to get electricity. Try to get electrical because
if you're in the tents, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for you.
No.
Although tents usually have the no-see-um
They do
screening.
have no-see-um screening on tents.
But the mosquitoes are also pretty bad, which you can control to a certain extent. The no-see-ums were ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's that on that.
So it is an awesome location for if you're if you like to fish, you have a small fishing boat or a bigger fishing boat. If you're a fisherman, that is the place to go.
It really is.
And we saw lots of different boats. We talked to a lot of people who were going fishing. Some people, these two older gentlemen we talked to, they do it every year.
Yep, for years they've been doing it.
For years and years. And so that's something they really enjoy. For us, 6 nights there was a little too long, in my opinion. I probably could have done less because we didn't go fishing.
Yeah.
But if you are a fisherman, I highly recommend it. Stay a while. If you're not a fisherman, you can probably do everything and stay there just about half my time.
Yeah, if you have some sort of inflatable boat that you can go out on the little waterways and go do some fishing. Yeah.
No inflatables.
You don't want alligators biting
crocodiles, alligators, no, because there is crocodiles there in the Everglades. The only place that you will find American crocodiles and alligators in the same habitat.
So,
anyway, it does have some hiking and biking trails, and we did some of both. I mean, we call it hiking; it's really walking. So the thing we noticed is the paved one between Flamingo Campground and the marina.
Yeah.
Was well taken care of. It's called the Guy Bradley Trail.
Guy Bradley Trail.
Yes. Yeah. And then we went on the Coastal Prairie Hiking Trail, which you probably saw in our video. And there was a critically endangered plant, which I believe we talked about, but I don't know, we never saw it. We looked for it. We looked it up. We tried finding it. We never saw it. Anywhere we went.
No.
You know? So I don't know if it was just off season. We don't know. We don't know if it's something
I don't know if they. I don't
that
know if
is
they
so critical you can't find it anymore.
made
I
that
don't know.
up not just an excuse not to
The trails are not well maintained.
maintain the trails. It was, yeah, not very good. The hiking trails were okay, but they don't trim them or nothing or
No.
anything like that. It's
So you wear pants. I don't care how hot it is, wear pants.
The people that are basically walking on the trails
Or what
that's
maintain
what maintains
the
the trail. Yeah, it's not.
That's no joke.
It's not really
That's no joke.
maintained. They don't go out there and actually
No.
maintain the trails.
And to get to that, what's funny is to get to that, we had to go through part of the Flamingo Campground that is in total chaos and disarray and overgrown. And I don't know when they stopped using that part. It was behind.
Yeah, there's a loop, at least one loop.
One or two loops, like behind Loop A, which is the tent loop,
Yeah.
to get to the Coastal Prairie Trail.
Yes.
And it was so sad.
It was
because
completely just grown
overgrown,
up.
and there was bathhouses and everything. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's.
I don't know if
we
the
don't know
fact that
why.
the park is not that busy anymore, maybe people just don't like the bugs. I mean, it could be. I mean, fishermen will come there and go, but for
or
the
if
most
they
part,
don't have the funds. I don't know. I feel like we feel like Everglades is
the
one of those
forgotten
forgotten national
park.
parks.
It kind of is
They
the
really
forgotten
are,
national park.
and we know it's like way out there, but.
Yeah.
You know, it's really got a lot of. I mean, the birds that we saw. There was some
beautiful.
really cool stuff.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
saw
if you go during
crocodile,
the real
manatees and the wild manatee.
yeah, if you go during the real buggy season though, bring one of those hats, maybe with a
100%.
no-see-em,
Pretend you're going to Alaska.
Yeah,
All right, just
because
pretend.
we talked, to people, and they said that's better if they're setting up a tent or something like that.
Yeah.
They need it because, and then if you can, I mean, like LL Bean, I know, and some stores sell insect clothing,
the
actual
clothing.
clothing that
Yep.
keeps the insects from
Yeah.
biting through, because they'll bite through a pair of jeans like it's not even there.
Yeah, some of them will.
Yeah. So
He
anyway,
keeps coming back to bugs because he had such the worst experience.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
So then we did that Rowdy Bend Trail, the biking trail, and we actually had to walk. I mean, the first part. I mean, there was like they put little orange markers, and I don't know who did that.
Yeah.
Whether it was someone in the national park or just someone who thought no one should like hit their head and their
Yeah,
face on these things protruding here
It was
and
a
there.
nice
and whatever.
single track trail,
It
so it was
could have
nice.
been. It just
But-
needed a little maintenance.
Yeah, there were places where it was all blown down. You couldn't go through there. They don't they don't come through and trim the trail up at all. So I don't know what's up with that. If there's a volunteer service or something that you can volunteer to do, I would maybe look into that more if we spent more time. Maybe help them clear the trails out, but because
Because a few people wouldn't take that long.
No, it
and it's
wouldn't.
something that should be done every year.
I mean, 10 people could go through there with some saws and stuff like that and clean it right out
yeah.
in a day.
I mean, majority of it was doable.
Yeah.
We did have to walk some of it because there was just too many obstacles, and I wasn't interested in doing an endo
Yeah.
and hurting myself. So that's the only thing. We just feel bad because we feel like it is a forgotten national park. It's even though it's popular with fishermen and stuff, we just don't feel it probably gets the funds it needs to keep upkeep. And the effects from the last hurricane, it's been quite a few years,
Yeah.
and there's still open the visitor center that used to be open. They're
Right.
working on it.
Yes.
They're also working on creating some more lodging and another restaurant because they just have the food truck that was.
It's
that was
definitely
there.
worth going, I think, to check it out. And maybe you're not going to spend a whole week there, or maybe just a few days.
Yeah.
Like 3 days, 4 days, something like that. I think it's definitely worth checking out.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Especially if you're into hiking and mountain biking and that kind of thing like that. I think
And
that
you see the Nike missile.
it's definitely worth it.
There's some really cool stuff. We just felt for us, because we didn't go out fishing. We did take the one day to go to Biscayne National Park because it was an easy drive there, and so we knew we were going to do that. So we, rather than camp here and then whatever, so we just went ahead and did that. So again, they're still rebuilding from the hurricane, so I'm hoping soon that they will be done with that.
They are building that.
The lodge,
The
new
lodge.
lodging.
Yes.
Like hotel kind of thing, and then the new restaurant. But one thing I would like to say is that I really wish that they would in T-Loop with the RVs. I don't know why the electricity hasn't been extended to the whole entire loop.
Right.
Because it seems to me like it shouldn't be that hard and would be doable, and you would at least have that whole side have electricity.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So there could be some improvements done and things like that. So, but other than that, I think it's definitely worth a look.
Yeah, and we didn't see everything by any means. And again, if we were fishermen, we would have done like had a canoe or something. We would have done a lot more. And you can rent stuff at the marina, but we just chose because we knew we were going to Biscayne. You know, we chose to not go on the water there and just go over in Biscayne National Park. So, and also there are houseboats at the marina right there at the Flamingo, right by the Flamingo Campground. The houseboats at the marina right there that you can rent, that are for rent, which I think would be really cool. I think that would be a really cool experience. So you can look into that as well.
All right. So we went from there to
Collier Seminole State Park.
Yes.
All right, which is on the other side of the Everglades. But on the way there, we knew we wanted to stop at this one place. It's pretty famous in Miami, and it'll be inserted somewhere whenever he does his magic. And it is called Robert is Here. Now, it's a very famous roadside stand. They sell a lot of tropical, locally grown and exotic fruits that they grow right there on their farms. They have like a petting zoo out back. They have, you can get some food. You can, we got smoothies. They have smoothies and milkshakes, so we had really good smoothies.
Yeah, they're kind of famous for that.
Yes, and they do have RV parking.
They do.
We weren't sure, but once we went by it the first time, then we knew we would be able to park there with our RV, so they do have RV parking.
Yes, they do.
And I found out that Robert still works there today, and he actually created this whole thing. Robert is Here is kind of like an interesting name, right? So when he was 6 years old, he wanted to work the farm stand to try to help his, family make money. And so he's 6 years old at the farm stand, and his dad wrote these signs, Robert is Here, and he put them on the side to try to attract attention. And he sold out of all his fruits that day. And so that just started to be like something that he did, and he became famous.
Yeah, it's funny how things work out like that.
So it's really cool that he still works there today. It's still family owned and run. And so of course we had to stop there, and we'll show you, like I said, pictures and some video of that. We are here at Robert is Here for a smoothie because they are famous in the entire area. This is
of Miami.
Most recommended places to stop. So we're on our way out of Everglades and going right by here, so we're stopping for a smoothie. Woohoo!
Yay!
I'm looking forward to it. And then from there, we went across 41, which is the Tamiami Trail.
Yeah.
And it's
started to see more wildlife.
Yes, we did. Lots of gators. It had been years since I've been across there.
Yeah.
A long time. So, unfortunately, he was driving, and I got to see all the gators.
Yeah.
There was a gator.
What's that?
I think I got it on film too.
That's awesome.
Anyway, we are in the Big Cypress National Preserve, which is part of the national park. Going across Tamiami Trail from the one side of the Everglades to the other, basically. Yeah, it's really cool. Cypress trees are really cool. Oh, there's
right down to the water. Oh, there's a fish that jumped in there.
Yeah. There's a lot of wildlife. I think I just saw another gator.
It's like a great place to fish.
Yeah, that one gator was at least 6 feet that I just saw. I don't know.
Well, there's a little one down on the side of the road.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
I probably just caught that one too. So, yeah. So cypress trees are really cool. How they grow out of the water and thrive in the water.
Yes.
And it's fresh water, by the way. It's fresh water. It's not salt water. This is fresh water. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So if you go from one side of the Everglades to the other on 41, you will go right through not only an Indian reservation, but you will go right through this big Cypress National Preserve.
I mean, something about seeing gators in the wild as opposed to, behind fences and stuff like that.
What's
So
funny
really,
is we did see, remember the ones we saw in the canal when we went to Biscayne National Park and we were on our way back?
Yeah.
And we saw the ones in the we saw a couple in the canal. But I'm telling you, on 41, going to Collier Seminole State Park, I must have saw in a short period of time sunning themselves like 30, 35 gators. And like it was a very short period of time. And it was amazing.
That's great.
So we only had a few nights at Collier Seminole State Park. We're going to do a video on that because it was a really cool state park. We really liked it.
Yeah, keep in tune for that video. I'll do
Yeah.
one on that too separately. There's
Yeah.
some fun there and some more mountain biking and checking it out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, it's a neat thing there that you got to see.
There's
It's
some neat stuff.
It's a mechanical device used for dredging back in the day, and I'm going to go through that
Yes.
too. That's really cool.
And another day we did a bucket list thing of both of ours, and we did 2 different airboat rides, one through the grasslands and one through the mangroves, and we're going to do a video on that because that's really cool.
Wild.
And
Just
we had
wild.
a blast.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
It was awesome.
And another thing I've always wanted to do but never had done was go to Marco Island. So that was another thing we did while we were right there. So we have those other 3 videos coming up here shortly.
Yep.
But yeah, we had heard about the bugs in the Everglades at Flamingo, but we didn't realize the no-see-ums were going to be as bad as they were. I mean, mosquitoes did come out at night.
Yeah.
But we were kind of prepared for those because, but just not the no-see-ums.
It was a lesson learned. I did not know that they would go right through the screens in your RV. So
He sat there and he watched them. I'm not even like kidding.
Yeah,
He
they just
watched
climb
them
right
pop
through. Not a problem at all for them.
So pretty much we just wanted to share our thoughts and let you know some upcoming videos that we have. And yeah.
That's it. That's pretty much
pretty
it.
much
All
it.
right. We'll see you next time, maybe on the road.
Right.